The desert stretched endlessly under two dying suns. Its surface shimmered like molten glass, broken only by the ruins of forgotten machines, half buried in sand. Each gust of wind carried the echo of something ancient, a whisper of battles no one remembered, and of peace that had never come. Through that silence walked a man. His coat hung heavy with dust. His hat shadowed a face carved by time and solitude. At his side, the revolver gleamed faintly, its barrel etched with marks, one for every world that had died in the name of order. He was known once by many names: diplomat, soldier, traitor. But now, across the French systems, he was spoken of only as a ghost, the last ambassador. His boots crunched over the sand, each step swallowed by the wind. He hadn't spoken in 3 days, not since he left Arden 9 behind, that world now nothing but smoke and memory. In the distance, black shapes rose from the horizon, towers, crumbling, flickering with dying power. A settlement, or what was left of one. He paused, eyes narrowing. The horizon trembled with heat, and for a moment he thought he saw figures moving among the ruins. Then the wind shifted, carrying a low hum, faint, mechanical, deliberate. He drew his weapon and kept walking. Whatever waited ahead wasn't human. Cinder Gate had once been a mining hub, carved into the bones of an asteroid before the Council turned it into a dust world. Now its towers leaned like broken ribs, glowing faintly from cracked conduits. Lights flickered in windows where no one lived. The ambassador entered through a half-collapsed archway. The silence was heavy, broken only by the hum of abandoned power lines. Then a sound, a clang, metal against stone. He stopped, gun raised. A small figure stumbled out of the shadows, thin, human, barely more than a child. The boy froze when he saw the revolver. "Don't shoot," he whispered, voice trembling. "Please, they'll hear." The ambassador's voice was gravel and smoke. The boy looked to the rooftops. The scavengers, machines, they come at night. They take what's left. The ambassador studied him, then slowly lowered the gun. "You got a place to hide?" The boy nodded. "Show me." They slipped into the ruins, moving through corridors of rust and memory. Every wall bore the marks of a life that used to be: murals, family names, scratched prayers to gods that had long since stopped listening. At last, they reached an old control room. Inside, a handful of survivors huddled around a dim blue lamp. When they saw the ambassador, the room went still. One of them, an older woman with a bandaged arm, spoke first. "You're not from here." "No one is," he replied. "Then why come?" He looked at her, then at the flickering light. "Because something's hunting your ghosts," he said quietly. "And I've seen what comes next." Night fell hard on Cindergate. The suns vanished, leaving only the dim glow of dying circuitry to guide the dark. Somewhere outside, the desert began to move. From the shadows emerged the scavengers, mechanical husks that had once been drones of the Council's Peace Corps. Now twisted by decades of neglect and corruption, they roamed the sands, feeding on power and flesh alike. Their eyes burned white in the night, scanning for heat, sound, breath. The ambassador crouched beside the window, his revolver drawn, listening. He counted their rhythm, 3 short pulses, then silence. Patterned, predictable, efficient. He turned to the survivors. "You have power running. That's what draws them. Cut it." The boy hesitated. "But it's all we have. Then you'll lose more than light." She killed the lamp. Darkness filled the room, thick as tar. Outside, the scavengers paused. Their lenses shifted, searching. Then they began to move again, toward another building. The ambassador exhaled slowly. "They hunt like soldiers," he muttered. The woman whispered, You've seen them before? He nodded once. Too many times. His eyes drifted to the revolver. It wasn't just a weapon. It was a relic, old enough to remember peace. He holstered it. They'll be back when the sun rises, he said. And when they come, we end it. The first light of dawn crept through the cracks in the walls. The survivors were silent, tense. Even the air seemed to wait. The ambassador stood near the door, checking the chamber of his revolver. 6 rounds, each one hand forged, encoded to disrupt mechanical cores. He had 6 chances to save what was left of this place. When the wind shifted, they came. Dozens of them, gliding over the dunes like ghosts made of chrome and rage. Their limbs clicked in perfect unison. The horizon shimmered with their motion. Stay behind cover, he said, his tone flat. The calm before collapse. The first scavenger leapt through the wall, landing in a cloud of dust. The boy screamed. The ambassador turned, fired once. The bullet cracked through its core, and the machine folded in on itself. Another came, then another. The air filled with the hum of engines, the shimmer of energy blades cutting through concrete. The survivors ran, ducking behind pillars as sparks rained like fire. He moved with precision, each shot a punctuation mark in the storm. His expression never changed. No fear, no hate, just duty. When his final round struck home, the largest of the machines convulsed, its lights fading to black. The silence that followed was heavier than the battle itself. He holstered the gun and looked at the boy. "Get your people ready," he said quietly. "We're leaving before they learn to bleed again." They crossed the desert as the suns bled low against the horizon. The survivors moved like shadows, weary but alive. Behind them, the ruins of Cinder Gate crumbled into silence. The boy walked beside the ambassador, eyes wide. "You fought like you knew them," he said. "I did," the man replied. "They were built to enforce peace. I helped write their directives." The boy frowned. "You made them." He nodded once, back when peace was still a word that meant something. They walked on. The heat shimmered around them like a veil. Every few steps, the boy glanced up, as if waiting for another attack. "They'll come again, won't they?" "Yes." A pause. "But not today." They reached a ridge overlooking the wasteland. From there, the stars were visible, countless, cold and different. The ambassador sat down, resting his weapon across his knees. The survivors gathered behind him, waiting for orders he would never give. For a long time, none spoke. Then the boy asked quietly, "Why help us?" He didn't answer at first. The wind carried the sound of sand shifting against metal. "Because someone once helped me," he said finally, "and I failed them." Night fell again. The survivors slept near the ridge, their breathing shallow and steady. Only the ambassador remained awake, eyes fixed on the stars. He thought of Ardent 9, of the screams that never reached the void, of the choice he made and what it cost. Now the universe was quieter, but not better, and every silence carried his name. He rose, adjusting his hat. The revolver gleamed faintly in starlight. He turned to the sleeping camp one last time. "Keep walking east," he murmured. "There's still a road there." Then he stepped away, into the dark. The wind followed him, whispering across the dunes, a slow, endless rhythm of dust and silence. And somewhere far behind him, a boy dreamed of a man who once spoke peace to monsters and carried a gun when words failed. The desert erased his tracks before dawn. Only the horizon remembered. Only the silence endured.